Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodymo short crew. It's Big Friday. Y'all ready? We're going to get into the sports from last night in a minute. Jim Irsay, he said, we already talked about this in the CBA. Why are you trying to negotiate another deal? He said, you can go ahead and talk to other teams and see if you can find another deal. We know business. We understand business. But where Jim Irsay went wrong is when he went to the media about this situation. This should have been something he should have talked to Jonathan Taylor up under the table, maybe in his office, but not out into the public. And if Jonathan Taylor didn't know business, he knows business now. But if I'm a player on this Colts team, I'm looking at this situation like, you're going to go to social media with that tough talk, telling me that I can go ahead and talk to other teams if I want to? Jim Irsay better be very careful, because I guarantee you that locker room is a little disgruntled and they're just watching his attitude and the way he's talking about certain players, especially Jonathan Taylor, somebody who is worthy of the bag. Now you're just going to let him go off to another team. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want these players to start pulling an Eli Manning, going through draft talking about, I don't want to play for the Indianapolis Colts. You can have a reputation and these players can start looking at it like, I don't want to play for your franchise. We don't need an owner out there acting like Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah, we understand business, but business done under the table as well too, in private, which this situation should have been talked one-on-one with no cameras, nobody in the room. You can go ahead and venture out and see if any teams are interested. I'm all for it, but I can't afford to give you this money at this time. That's the way it should have been addressed. But going out in the media, talking this tough guy stuff, that's never going to work. They're just expendable assets at the running back position. It kind of remind me of that movie Rambo. When it was on that boat, what'd she say? What's this expendable? Rambo was like, well, you know, it's when you're invited to a party and you don't show up, it really doesn't matter.
I'm expendable.
Expendable. What mean expendable?
It's like someone invites you to a party and you don't show up. Doesn't really matter.
Running backs are having their problems getting their bag. But Jonathan Taylor, I'm just glad. I'm glad you're getting out of that situation. Need to go to another team anyway where you are valued. Get the bag that you deserve. Go play for another team. Hopefully come back and play the Colts. Run your butt off. This is business, but it's certainly a way that you go about your business. And quite frankly, this was the wrong way. So go get your bag, Jonathan Taylor, and good luck to you. I heard the Dolphins possibly interested in you, so that'd be a good team for you to go to. But nobody likes that Sergeant Slaughter talk in 2023. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen Curry is a better point guard than Magic Johnson. Sometimes I think Stephen A., well, I know for a fact that he likes that shock value. First of all, Stephen Curry, he already has the title as the greatest shooter in this game who ever played. I've given him that title plenty of times. It's obvious he's the greatest shooter ever played the game. Now you want to put him in a point guard category. Me personally, I'll look at him more like a shooting guard than a point guard. Yeah, he plays point guard, but do you really look at Stephen Curry as a passer? Like, oh man, he can pass. Oh, look at that sweet pass. No, you look at him as a shooter. The guy can shoot. Magic Johnson passes, has his most impact when he's passing without even scoring the ball. But we want to sit up here and say Stephen Curry is the best point guard that ever played. Just slapping Magic Johnson right in the face. Stephen Curry got all these accolades, gonna hold all the shooting records. He don't need this one. We know how great Stephen Curry is, but to say point guard, just disrespectful to Magic Johnson. I don't have to defend Magic Johnson. His old friend took care of that for him.
I have to read you a text that I received this morning at 5:54 a.m. Good morning, sir. Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow, how about that?
And he asked me,
Wow.
he asked me to read it on the air. He said, I'm not backing up for it. He said, I'm tired of this argument about Magic Johnson not being the best point guard in the history of the game. He is the best point guard in the history of basketball. That is from Michael Jordan.
I'm glad Michael Jordan reached out to him to set the record straight. Sometimes that shock value can backfire. And Michael Jordan said he's talked about this on multiple occasions, and it's the last time he's going to talk about it. He wanted to set the record straight. Stephen A. Smith, are we that desperate? Because I know you really, in your heart, don't believe that. You want to try to clean it up and say, well, he has the biggest impact from the point guard position. He don't even have the biggest impact. He has the biggest impact shooting the ball. That's where he has his biggest impact, not passing the ball. Leave that to Magic Johnson. Let's get into the box sheets of the games last night.